my school, we have 3 Super Bowl wins.
Wow.
Yeah, that's insane. How many you guys got?
I think I don't know. I think I might just be the only one.
What, NFL players?
No, like Super Bowl winners.
Oh.
But like NFL, I think I was the first one from my school in 50 years.
We definitely have more, I believe, that probably made it, but only 3 that come to my mind is the 3 Super Bowl winners.
That's crazy, man.
So all the jerseys I retired at my high school are all Super Bowl winners.
That's sick.
I think I was the first one from my town. From my school, there was one other guy who played the NFL for, I'm not sure how long, 7 or 8 years. So,
Like how recent?
not very recent. Yeah, it's been a while.
So you were drafted in New York too,
Mm-hmm.
and you were drafted in 2018?
2018.
2018?
That's
class.
stacked.
Yeah.
Stacked draft
Yeah.
of dogs. We got Josh Allen, MVP. Myself, Offensive Player, Rookie of the Year. Lamar Jackson, 2-time MVP. Quentin Nelson, All-Pro. Derwin, All-Pro. Dallas Goedert's a Super Bowl champion in that class. He's in
Out of South Dakota State,
yeah,
right?
South Dakota State.
Jackrabbits?
Jordan Malata's in that class.
Is he really?
Yeah. Joe Malata got drafted and never played.
His highlights
That's
are crazy
insane.
though. His rookie highlights.
Yeah. And now he's one of the best tackles in the NFL.
Yeah.
And then you got 3 MVPs. You got 3 MVPs, Offensive Player of the Year and Offensive Rookie of the Year. Baker brought Cleveland to the playoffs for the first time in a long time.
Yeah.
It was fun. Me and Baker actually had like a bet. We're pretty good boys. Who's gonna win Offensive Rookie of the Year? And we had to make a chain made for each other. You still got it? Yeah, I got it. He's like, what's on the chain? I said quads. I was down quads. And like I was a kid, like I like, because when I first came into the league, like everyone was like, say quads or this. I really happened. Like I had skinny jeans on, and this is like the skinny jeans was in, and the jeans were probably a little too tight. And Odell, being Odell, made a joke and kind of called me say quads and tweeted it, and then everyone started calling me like, it's weird. Like in Penn State, no one talked about how big my legs were. And then I got to the NFL and I got to New York and Odell tweeted quads one time and then everyone got obsessed about my quads. So now we got you and AJ Dillon in the same. AJ has bigger quads than me. We did like a measurement contest. Not like someone in New York, I forgot what reporter, but they were doing. We were playing Green Bay that week and they were doing just a report on legs and like the biggest legs I think were like Earl Campbell. And like they had to, we had to like wrap our measure, like tape measure, and AJ has bigger quads than me, but I didn't know he's like 250. Like I'm only 230. Like he got 20 pounds on him.
Good lord.
Yeah, that's some hard nosed downhill running for our offense. You know what I'm saying? And that's a wrap with our first ever guest on the Exciting Mics podcast, Saquon Barkley. Thank you for being here. Thank you for joining us.
It means a lot, dude.
Yeah, I appreciate it a lot.
Cool,
It's great to chop it up.
I see you in the locker room, man.
Yeah, see you in the locker room.
Yeah.
See you tomorrow.
Don't change it tomorrow. Don't change it.
We are back with another segment of Exciting Eats. Today, we are going to be trying Angelo's. Everybody knows them for their cheesesteaks. But today, we're going to try some pizza.
Exciting Eats. Here you go,
Let's
boys.
go.
Thank you.
Grandma Pizza. Enjoy.
Thank you. So what? We got a little pepperoni right here on this side. A little cheese on the other.
With the basil, too.
Basil.
With the basil. Let's try it out.
I don't know what I want. Like,
Let's try it out here.
corner piece.
I'm going to go for this one here.
Yeah, you got to. I might as well do the same thing.
Might as well.
Well, you know
Alright,
what?
let's
Let's do the pepperoni side.
This is the cheese with the basil.
That was a basil leaf on there too. That's what No more morning than mine. No more.
Mm-hmm.
I love how it's like cupped pepperonis.
Hey, you see that grease on his face right there?
Got it on my face. Surviving out here. The cup pepperoni is I think slept on.
Slept on.
That holds it.
So I tried just the regular cheese with the basil.
I like it.
I like the crunch of the pizza for sure.
I like it.
My rating on the cheese is probably
7.9.
7.9 on the cheese pizza.
Yeah, I was around probably 7.6, 7.7 on pepperoni.
On pepperoni, I'd probably go there for the pepperoni as
Yeah.
well. For a place that's not known for their pizza, I thought it was a really good pizza.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah.
But
So
yeah, no, thank you so
appreciate it.
much, Angelo's,
thank you.
for this pizza. Wish I could take it home with me and.
We got some cheesesteaks waiting for us now. Yeah. All right, live on the show is our first ever fan Q&A. We got our boy Rory here.
Rory,
Just turned 14 yesterday. Welcome to the show.
on the show. Happy
We're excited to answer your questions. Let's give it up for Rory. Yeah.
Yeah, Rory.
Yeah.
You got some hard hitting questions for us?
I think so.
Uh-uh.
Let's get into it. Let's do it.
Alright. If you could play another sport, what would it be?
If I could play another sport, it'd probably be basketball.
And be good at it, and be like really good at it.
Yeah, sure, yeah. Yeah,
Oh,
really good at it.
I'm gonna play golf, dude.
what? Golf? Yeah.
That's not. That's real.
That's good. Yeah.
That's golf.
Golf?
Yeah.
Why golf?
Because I'm not that good at it right now. But I just feel like it's cool. It's cool to be outside.
I'd have to pick basketball. Basketball was my first love. So
Did you see his highlights?
No, I wasn't.
Really?
they're not that impressive. You don't gotta watch
He's
them.
dunking over folks.
You don't gotta watch them. But basketball would be my my choice of
Alright.
another sport.
What is your favorite stadium that you've played in? Like, ever?
Ever.
Dude, this is
Outside of our home
outside.
stadiums.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Favorite stadium outside of our home stadiums. I got to play in the Penn State whiteout game. That was pretty cool. And I also we played in SoFi Stadium out in LA,
in LA.
last year.
That's pretty nice.
Oh, wow.
It's probably the coolest
Now-
stadium I played in.
One stadium we're going to get to play in is Green Bay. I've always wanted to play there. Why? I don't know. I guess the history behind it or just the historical part. But like, I hope it's snowing, like pouring snow, cold, free. Like give me the true. Was it Wisconsin, right? Yeah, Wisconsin weather, man.
I turned 14 yesterday, and I'm getting a new kidney soon. Have you ever been through something hard? What would you say to a kid like me who is trying to stay strong?
Well, to answer the first part, in 2019, I had a compound fracture in my left leg, and it was a very tough process, mentally and physically. And obviously, I wasn't able to walk on it until maybe the next year. So that's when 2020 was, and COVID was a thing, and that time, that's when the Power 5 schools were deciding whether or not football should even be played that year. And you're sitting there like looking at it. I have a bum leg. I'm just trying to get back, and you don't know if you're going to be able to play this sport this year. And obviously advanced my career to the NFL. And looking back now, I feel like it's gotten me to this point. It's made me a lot stronger. And to answer your second part, just find that support system. I wasn't doing it alone. I always had somebody in my corner. My corner was my parents at the time, and they helped me through it all. I was able to be real with them, shed tears with them, just tell them exactly how I was feeling. But that was always that positive support system, and they're still here to this day doing the same thing. So I was blessed for that.
Yeah, I think mine's kind of similar. I had an injury the end of my junior season, right before it was like 3 games left in the season, and it was right before like I was going to decide whether or not to go to the NFL draft or go to go back to college. So it was a big time in my life. You know, and I had the injury, and it just, you know, took a toll on me. But like Reese said, it's about the people that are around you, and you know, just being with them and being with the people you're most comfortable with, and talking through whatever you need to talk through with them, the people you trust the most, and you know, most importantly, as you're going through that rehab process, or it's about believing in yourself too, believing that, you know, you're gonna be all right, and you're gonna make it through. That's for anything in life, just believing in yourself. You know, no matter what you're going through, I think that's the key. You know, I'm sure the people around you believe in you as well, and that's the best part about it. You know, just lean on them. They believe in you, you believe in yourself, and you know, nothing's gonna hold you back. So,
Well said.
yeah. Appreciate you joining us, man.
Man.
That was awesome. Happy belated birthday. Maybe
Good
a
luck.
little.
Good luck, man.
Hopefully we can meet up with you sometime.
Yeah.
We'll send you something in the mail.
Yeah,
That'd
for
be-
sure.
that'd be sweet.
Thank you guys so much for having me.
Absolutely.
Yeah, thank you, man.
We're glad you got to join us today.
Thank you so
The
much.
first one.
First one, yeah.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you for tuning in to this episode of Accept.
Very calm there. Doesn't seem like everybody's happy at all. What's the scene?
Well, you're hearing right now live at Xfinity Live, we are the champions over the loudspeaker, and that's because the Eagles have won the Super Bowl here in Philadelphia. 3,000 fans here at Xfinity Live. It was the loudest touchdown the Cooper machine got that pick six. The Vontae Smith touchdown was loud as well. To give you a live look at what we're seeing right now. We are the champions playing here at Xfinity Live, and I'm here with the Eagles fans. I saw you crying when the game ended. Why were you so emotional? You were crying when the Eagles won. Why?
It's everything. My best friend has season tickets to the Eagles. Our family's had it for 20 years.
There's no better place than Philadelphia sports. No better place than Xfinity Live to watch the Super Bowl. That's for sure. We were here the first time, but we're here the second time we won. Love it. Well, you can see the passion here at Xfinity Live, and the party has just started. There were people basically standing on the roofs, on the bars, everything. They are just getting started here at Xfinity Live, and for us right now, it's insane as well. And we're incredibly excited with this.
It's a wonderful. Thank you, Ashley. It's a wonderful atmosphere there. And as you're talking to those two young women, I'm thinking that's what it's about. I mean, that's what it's
Absolutely.
about. From Xfinity Live to South Philadelphia to the Northeast, to North Philly, to West Philly, to Center City, to South Jersey, to the Poconos. They're Eagles fans all over the place. California, you know, everywhere. And they are all, many of them shedding a tear of happiness for what this team has accomplished, because it was a win for the ages to beat down that Kansas City Chiefs. You got to give them their propers. And when you do, you know, when you're talking about Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce and Isaiah Pacheco, the young man from South Jersey, and Andy Reid and Steve Spagnuolo, they got a team, and they're going to contend again. You can see the look on Patrick. Yeah.
They left nothing to, you know, for this Chiefs team to pull from. I mean, they just totally dominated. They did everything possible to try to, you know, stop Saquon from doing it. And what they do, they went another direction. They start throwing the ball. I mean, every single time they tried to counter something, they made it happen. So that's what it's all about. Always having that ace in their hole, and they had it all day.
Like I see you looking around, Ike's looking around, look behind us.
That's why I just pointed to Ike. I just looked at that.
Super Bowl champions.
Yeah.
That's got a nice ring to it, doesn't it?
And
For the entire year.
yeah. 59 in Roman numerals is licks. They got their licks in on Kansas City, let me tell you.
You know, I think this means so much because, you know, this is a team that's been in this city since 1933. There's not a lot of teams that have stayed in the same city with the same name. You know, so many of the people we're seeing on Broad Street in Xfinity, their parents, their grandparents, their great-grandparents went to games at Franklin Field, Shibe Park. There's something about the Eagles that's just kind of ingrained in generation after generation of Philadelphia people. And I think it makes it more special than it can be in almost any other city.
You know the sweetest thing about this win tonight, it really just validates what they've been since the bye week. When they discovered who they are and they figured out their identity as a football team, that physicality was going to be what they led with, starting in the trenches. And they stuck to that. They stayed true to themselves. And what I love about this game is that there are no excuses for the Kansas City Chiefs. They weren't missing some key player. The offensive line wasn't tattered, like all that stuff. No, this was your best versus our best. And there was a lot of consternation and trepidation prior to this game because of the mystique and the greatness that goes along with Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes. But if we watched, and we believed our eyes, Charles, what we watched all year, the Eagles were the best team in the NFL once they figured out who they were. Coming off that bye week, there hasn't been a team. They lost one game due to their quarterback being knocked out of the game.
Yeah, hang on,
they lost one game.
I got some news. I just got the MVP. Who's the MVP?
It's got to be Jalen.
Jalen Hurts is a Super Bowl 59 MVP, 17 to 22, 221 yards, 2 touchdowns passing, 1 touchdown running, 72 yards rushing, which is a record for yards rushing by a quarterback in a Super Bowl. Right, which was set by 2 yards. Which was set. Was I right about that?
Yeah.
Okay, I just wanted to.
He said he would make amends for the loss in Super Bowl 57.
Yeah.
He certainly did. Congratulations, Jalen.
And you know, on a day when Saquon never really got going, I mean, they were selling out to stop Saquon. Jalen had to make plays. This wasn't one of those games where he could go 12 for 16 for 112 yards and not really be a factor. He had to be great today, and he was.
Well, the thing I love about it is that they stuck within their framework. It didn't feel to me
Like it was
that
pushed.
the Eagles tried to do something special today to try to force the action. They stayed within their comfort zone. Jalen made the throws. He delivered them. His playmakers caught the ball when he was able to get it to them. There were a couple of plays in there, maybe a sack here or this and that and the other. But for the most part, I thought Jalen played within himself and allowed the game to come to him. And more importantly, when he decided to run the football, it seemed to be always at the perfect time when the team absolutely needed it.
Well, he did a great job of reading the man-to-man coverage when he was dropping back. And when you break the pocket, you span them in, that's when you go, that's when you take off. But I'm going to digress for 1 second. When I look at his team, how he goes in the you talk about being physical is, driving, offensive line and defensive line. Look how this team was drafted 2 years ago. And how he's always hung his hat on. And we talk about the quarterback, talk about the wide receivers, talk about Reed, talk about all that things. But we don't do those things because our offensive line and defensive line can do what they do. And so I give props to that offensive line and defensive line today. They carry the ball.
And have depth.
Jeff Lurie said something really interesting down in New Orleans on Monday at meeting night. He said, if we didn't have the offensive line we have, we might not have signed Saquon Barkley. That's how kind of interlocked the running back and the offensive line are.
Yeah, can I go back to Jalen?
You can do anything you like.
No. It's our program. It's for our friends out there. But Jalen Hurts, you talk about an indomitable spirit, and you go back, and I think this is for people, not just us, not just players, anybody who's got something in life. This guy was benched in his, he lost the national championship in freshman year at Alabama. Sophomore year, he's benched. Ends up transferring to Oklahoma. Comes this close to winning the Heisman Trophy, but loses it. Finishes in 3rd place. Goes to the Philadelphia Eagles. Gets drafted. They have a quarterback, Carson Wentz. By the way, they never lose a Super Bowl with Carson Wentz on the bench. I'm just saying. So maybe we should keep him there. You know, okay, just a thought. So he gets drafted by the Eagles. Wentz is gone. He's in there, and you were with me right here when I said we've just seen the future at the quarterback position for the Philadelphia Eagles, and that was in a loss in Arizona. The guy was scintillating. And I'm thinking here's the Eagles with the trophy right now. Take a look at this. Okay, we got Cooper DeSheen, but that's pretty good.
We'll take that.
I'll take it. He had a pick six. But what Jalen Hurts, he's never said anything but forward home. You know, I don't care how much I got beat down and
Thank you so much, man.
Anything.
But yeah, you're right. Okay.
He's done great. He's done great at taking whatever you throw at him.
That's true.
We'll be able to see that across the street.
Tua. How about that? Wait till you see the rings. John, wait till you see the rings.
We're going to put on their faces.
With two, as they all hold it aloft. By the way, this is my annual campaign. That trophy's got to be a lot bigger. We'll talk about the end.
Bigger.
Yeah, I think you can hold it. It weighs 8 pounds. I want it
It takes our whole team to win. It takes
I
our
know
whole
it's made by Tiffany. It's a little, for God's sakes. It weighs 8 pounds. I want it to
And it
weigh
takes our whole
28
city to
pounds.
learn. Put this in perspective.
Yeah.
I was gonna buy one that was 10 inches,
Mm-hmm.
and they wanted $12,000 from it.
Mm-hmm.
$12,000.
I'll take it. I'll take it. How about this guy?
Tennis one.
Yeah,
Brandon
BG.
Graham. This guy,
Got a
week
second one.
12 in November, rips his triceps after the game, says, I'm done for the season.
He's bionic.
And he's unbelievable. And he got in there, he's making tackles. It looked like he was pretty much brand new. He had to adjust his brace at one point during the game, but there he is.
Yeah.
We're talking about a swan song game for that man. That
Confetti
great guy.
Angels. Nothing like confetti angels.
And I'll say this because they'll never admit this, and nor should they. But that little dust up
Yeah.
that he was a part of
Yes, help.
a couple months ago,
Mm-hmm.
best believe that helped.
Yeah, yeah. Wait, let's go back to that dust up because it happened when you were there, I think, right? You were there.
Give me more. Give me more.
I don't know what loss it was, or it wasn't a loss, maybe. It was after a win. Anyway, Brown said, what's the problem? You asked, what's the problem? He said, the passing game. And so, I guess BG then went on 94 WIP and said, you don't have to like each other all the time. Maybe there's a little issue there. And you think that spurred them on?
I really do. Listen, it was uncomfortable, and I'm sure a lot of people weren't happy that BG is airing the family laundry out for on the radio to hear about it. But I think it forced them to have to address some things behind closed doors and, come to some sort of understanding of how we can continue to move forward as a team and as a unit, right? Forget about who's not getting the ball. Forget about who's not making this play. The fact of the matter is we got a great opportunity to do something special here. And I believe they had those uncomfortable conversations once that occurred. Again, I don't expect them to ever admit that, nor should they. But I got a feeling as a former player, when something like that happens, it forces you to address the elephant in the room. And sometimes that can be a good thing. Because look at what the team became after that.
Yeah.
It didn't splinter those guys, right? It didn't make them pull apart. It made them come closer together. So again, it may not have been comfortable at the time, but when I look back at that, I think it forced those guys to have to address it.
The two tackles said as much.
Yeah.
Both of them, Alana and Johnson said that.
Speaking of Mailata, we got him on the field moments ago with John Clark, Jordan Mailata.
Oh, we got that win? Yeah. I mean, we have to play to the whistles. Yeah, felt great. Left tackle, now Super Bowl champion. What does that mean to you? I don't know. Usually I have the right words to say, but yeah, I don't know what to say. It's surreal. It's surreal.
Pretty cool moment watching you embrace Makai, who's much more emotional. Talk about your evolution from the team to somebody who was once that kind of younger guy coming up to now one of the leaders on a dominant O-line.
That's just trying to find my role. Trying to be there for my boys.